for today is to cover why people study abroad, who can go to study abroad, what you need to study abroad, who to, how to choose a university, how to choose a program, why consultancy, and the first question, why study abroad? What do you think people go to study abroad? Can you all chat in the chat box? Why do you think people go to study abroad? The chat box is open. Please chat. Why do you think people go for studying abroad? I'm getting some answers. More exposure. Girish, thank you for the answer, Girish. To get different exposure, thank you. Exposure, that's good. To learn professional courses in depth, good, cool. Per million, very good. Some more answers, some more answers. I want everyone to be active. Okay, in the interest of time, this is a research, okay, and out of this research we found out usually people go for studying abroad because it's one of their dreams, studying abroad, and they get hands-on experience when they are studying abroad because the courses what they design in abroad compared to India have more of practicalities inbuilt in their courses. Then adaptability, lots of people go to study abroad to show to their employee that they are adaptable for different climates. So that's one of the advantages getting to study abroad. Then secure your growth. I've seen, or I've in my last 15 years of career, I've seen a lot of people coming back to India from studying abroad have started their own entrepreneur journey. So your growth is for sure secured. You can either do a job, you can start up, set up a startup, or maybe collaborate with other people and start some business. So that's totally possible when you study abroad, only because you will have multicultural exposure. As one of our friends was saying, exposure. The multicultural exposure is what most people like in nowadays. The new innovative ideas might be in some areas lacking the upgradation, but when you are studying abroad you are more exposure to today's technology and tomorrow's ideas. The same thing you can bring back to India and develop India. Then total transformation of yourself. Yes, because when I went to study abroad, I used to do everything for myself. I didn't had my mother there to help me out. I don't have my sisters to help me out. All things are to be done by myself. So you are totally transforming and you will be very independent person once you study abroad. You might have seen a lot of examples also, your brothers, your seniors, or any of elders in your family. They might transform themselves once they go for studying abroad. Then future aspects, as we are developing nations, there is a next generation which can learn from you when you come back. So that's one of the advantages people go for studying abroad. Now, who can study abroad? Very simple question. Everyone, you, me, anyone who wants to go abroad, anyone willing to study abroad can go and study abroad. But what are the things needed will be coming in the next slide. But I want you to understand. Usually, people go to study abroad when they complete their 10 plus 2. That's inter. Usually, the board exams, that is 10th is done, and then 2 years of study is done. Then they start their journey in foreign so that they get accompanies to the foreign education and job culture. Most of the people in India, they prefer going to study abroad for their masters, to sharpen the skills, to narrow down their expertise. And the minimum criteria for any university, I wouldn't say every university, but some of the universities, they cater or allow a student who is having 55% and above academics to apply for their courses. So that's a minimum. The least criteria a person should have in academics is 55 in your bachelor's. and the same can be carried into other degrees as well. Any queries at this point? You can chat into the chat box if you have any queries. Okay. So Karthik, you're the representative. Super, super. Oh, I'm getting more answers now. Thank you. I really love your excitement, Karthik, Manoranjan, Neelam, right, Nagasri. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's go to the next slide. What you need to study abroad? You will be needing a degree, isn't it? If you're going for masters, then you might have completed your degree. But let me give you the eligibility criteria here. For person to go and study in foreign universities, they need their 10th class mark certificates, 10 plus 2, and bachelor's if they're going for masters. If they are going for bachelor's, then it is 10 plus 2 and individual certifications that can be PCC and CMN. So you can start working on them and have your percentage more, like maybe first class or more than first class will give you more options to apply for jobs. Apply for universities. Then your passport. You can't travel without passport, so you need passport for your visa. SOPs, statement of purpose. What is the purpose you want? Why do you want to go to a particular university? You need to have that reason, a proper reason. So statement of purpose. And sometimes you might struggle writing this. And this is where you need expertise. This is where you need a consultant. This is where you need a coach. LORs. This is a recommendation letters from your lecturers about your conduct, the way you carry yourself in the college, and this can help you get admissions into universities. So usually most of the universities ask for two of them, but some universities they ask for three. So you need to at least have three. I would say have three LORs, letter of recommendations. And then resume. You need to have up-to-date resume where you have all the details of your education qualifications, the percentage of your education, and the year of passing, including your institute. Work experience, if any. If you can do some part-time within the same field, then I would recommend you to start working now. It is just an add-on. If you don't have any work experience, still okay. But if you have, then that'll give you a more percentage or the weightage to your documentation. Then there are some universities they don't want IELTS in UK, but usually most of the universities ask for English proficiency. Yeah. So you need to be competent in English language. So that is speaking, writing, reading, and also writing. I told writing, didn't I? It's writing, reading, speaking, and listening. So speaking and listening is very, very important. And writing as your academician, so you need to write things up, writing articles, everything will happen in master. So you need to have provisions in English. If you are having more than 70% in your English language in 10 plus 2, and also in your bachelor's, then that will be add on for your admissions. Then how to choose your university? This is very crucial, my friends. Usually people choose their university on the basis of location. So do they want to go for UK, do they want for US, which country they want to go for is the first priority. Then which location in the country they want to go, is it like north, south, west, east, and particular location, particular state, particular city, and also particular university comes. Then you will be looking into the program. That is also another criteria. People ask for particular programs, expertise in their own core area. University comparison. So in the same place, if you have a few universities together, then you can actually choose between 4 or 5 universities and you can pick the best. So these are the criteria how to choose your university. Then let's get into the choosing of program. How do you choose your program? Suppose you're a CSC student, then do you want to go into computing? Do you want to do some specialization in programming? So that is core. Okay, getting into core. So if you are staying back in the core, then that is a good thing to be in, because that's what your employee looks in, if you're actually following the same consistency or not. and that will happen if you're sticking into the core. If not, if you want to manage or have a startup or work for an employee to manage their business, then you can get into a management studies like MBA. And there are specialized MBAs in some universities where they take freshers. Yes, they take freshers. Usually, any MBA program which is very in a reputed colleges, they ask for experience, right? But in foreign universities, there are universities which actually help the freshers to be in that cadre, you can say, in a position where you can command a set of team people, right? That happen in universities in UK and some other countries as well, but for now it's in UK. Then why consultancy? See, so far, whatever you've learned, how to choose a university, how to choose a program, you might get into your friends, you might ask your friends, your family members, but they might not have uh, expertise and also up to date news. For you to have up to date news, upgraded news, you need to have a coach with you. Being with a consultancy is like being with a skilled person for accuracy, and that will give you 100% of attainment. So just read the sentence. As you need a skilled person to get things accurate, you will need a coach to help you out with your procedures and process. That's the reason you need a consultancy to help you out. Consultancy is your coach. It is actually not one person. You will have a team of people helping out with your process. And when you're choosing a consultancy, make sure you choose a consultancy which can help you not only pre-admission, but also post-admission. And we are one. We also help you after your admissions as well. And we are 24/7 systematically working consultants for support. Yes, for your support. We are global studies consultancy. We do take applications pan India. We get applications from Kerala, Tamil Nadu, we get from Maharashtra, we get from Delhi, different areas of India, and we help all of them over the phone and internet. It's a small world now. And why should you choose Global Studies Consultancy? Because we have a vision to support fulfilling students' dreams. Your dream can be fulfilled with our coaches. We have expertise of a decade plus sending students overseas, and we have helped thousands of applications so far, and all of them got ad admissions overseas. In UK, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, any country you name it, we can help you out. There are a few countries which need more of filing. That will be that can take that we can discuss one to one. Document we do 100% accurate documents. Yes, documentation is very important for visa filing. If you miss one paper, not only miss, but if you don't put it in order, there is every chance they reject your visa. So far, we have 100% accuracy in documentation. Systematic approach for your application. Everything will be transparent. You'll be up to date day by day about your process, and everyone in our organization are skilled to confidently make you attain admission in abroad. As I said, we are 24/7 available for queries. Queries once we start processing your application. That's it from me. Thank you so much for your time. I am open for your queries.